Fight back! Fight back! Fight back!
Occupy Kingston, Veterans for Peace, Hudson Valley Progressives, and Women in Black, and Organizing for Action. Are there any groups that I've forgotten here today?
AFSME.
Move on. AFSME.
American Postal Workers Union.
And the American Postal Workers Union. And Republicans in Washington are clearly out of touch with what's happening here in the Hudson Valley. Instead of creating jobs, investing in our communities, giving kids a head start, fixing our broken immigration system, and protecting our environment, their extreme Washington politics are dividing this country. Our communities are suffering while John Boehner, Chris Gibson, and Republicans push this extreme agenda in Congress. Instead of cutting programs that our community needs, like Head Start for Kids, Meals on Wheels for seniors, we need investment in good jobs, education, health care, and we need comprehensive immigration reform now. Boehner and Gibson's extreme position on immigration reform is costing our economy and our community. We need to help aspiring citizens, aspiring students, not create a permanent underclass of 11 million people. It's time for big corporations and the wealthiest Americans to pay their fair share of taxes so that we can protect vital programs like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and Obamacare. All right, we have many different people who are assembled to speak here today. We're going to start out with Art Zakowicz, who's going to explain just a little bit about how we got into this position. So Art Zakowicz is from Kingston, New York. He's a former journalist from Condé Nast. He's a founder of Kingston Land Trust. He's a social worker and a community organizer. He's here today to talk to us about income equality, a subject we all know far too well.
Thank you. Yes, just a little background. Avoiding the fiscal cliff. Remember this wind back to January? That resulted in a 30% cut to a lot of programming, especially the food stamp education program. Then we have a sequester that kind of was the result of an unwillingness for folks in Washington to compromise. So what does that mean? That means that people are getting hurt, right? Food literally is being taken off the table of people who need it the most, right? And this is occurring at a time when Wall Street is booming, right? The Dow Jones Industrial Average, is soaring to new heights, and big corporations are enjoying record profits, and most Americans are barely making ends meet, and the gap, between the haves and the have-nots continues to widen, and the once prosperous middle class is quickly evaporating, right? So, 6 years ago, our food stamp program was a $40 billion program. Why? Because we need that, because we have poor people and we have to take care of each other. Now it's an $80 billion program, and Washington can't get it right. So we need to fix that. So what's the solution here? Well, consider this. Consider that 1/4 of millionaires in the U.S. pay a lower tax rate than 10 million middle-income earners in the country. Consider that 2/3 of U.S. corporations pay zero federal taxes. Zero federal taxes. U.S. corporations are sitting on $1.8 trillion in reserve cash, yet Congress refuses to raise the marginal tax rates for those companies, which would stimulate the economy and create jobs. Instead, they're targeting programs like Head Start and food stamps, and this is wrong. Leave here today knowing that action is needed, and I would encourage everybody here to connect with a community organization, whether locally or on state level or federally, and get to work. Make phone calls, protest. Being here today is a great sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. All right. I'd like to introduce Danielle Vereen. She represents our youth. She just recently graduated from Newburgh High School. She's 19 years old. Let's hear it for Danielle Vereen.
Hey, Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I just graduated from NFA, as Kat told you, and this is a problem, not just for minorities, but for people who can't afford college. people who want to go to college. Congress is telling us we can't because they don't want to give us federal funding. $4 million, 7,000 people not going to school. Why? An education is something that you don't want to waste. And if you have the opportunity, you want to take it. So to me, that hurts because it's not just for me, it's for your grandchildren, your children, your children's children. We need an education to go out there and take the world and make it ours. And that's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Danielle. All right, and we have Shannon Danielle here, who is a parent of a Head Start graduate. Shannon, are you near here?
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say that Congressman Gibson and Boehner are out of touch with my family, American families, with the extreme cuts. They're causing a huge divide amongst our nation. The Head Start program is crucial for all children. The Sullivan County Head Start program has been so strong and so vibrant for so many years. It hugely benefits not just the single parents in our area, but our struggling families. Cutting Head Start or preschool is basically stating, let's decrease a child's opportunity and chances of succeeding in school and life. With more academics being pushed and presented in kindergarten, children must learn the pre-academic foundations for reading prior to kindergarten. In Head Start programs, children become familiar with basic words, basic ways to form sentences, problem-solving strategies, social skills to get the most out of school, how to interact with peers, how to pay attention in the classroom. The No Child Left Behind Act says that all children must perform at high levels. Schools must demonstrate that students are making progress so that by 2014, children are all achieving at proficient levels. Close the gap between low-income and minority students and their non-minority counterparts. Raise overall student performance and improve graduation rates. Head Starts and preschool programs help students meet these requirements. It's a need. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I'd like to give the mic to Debbie Zaretti of the American Postal Workers Union.
Hi, everybody. We just want to let you know what's going on in the Hudson Valley. We have a mid-Hudson plant that management is accessing employees as we speak, and they are trying to downsize our facility to where your mail will be delayed 2, 3, 4 days. They are sending all of our mail up to Albany, and we need your support because it just seems like everybody doesn't really hear the facts about what's happening with the Postal Service and the fact that they are not broke. This is an issue that has to do with Congress, and that's why we're here today. We have 2 bills in Congress that are sitting lame duck. We cannot get them on the floor. This is the biggest issue for all of us on any issue. We can't get our bills on the floor to get passed. And we have got to stick together, and somehow, some way, we have got to formulate a committee that knows how to get those bills done. There's issues that congressional members can do on the floor, but nobody is taking the initiative. And we need to get our congressional members to step forward, like Sean Maloney, like Chris Gibson. They can do it, but they're not doing anything right now. So we've got to get that support, and we've got to be able to pass the legislation we need. Just us alone is not going to do it. So I hope everybody will support us when you see articles in the paper that we need your support. We need your letters. Please get involved because we're losing it's not just about us and our jobs, but we're talking about breaking the union. Our union, we are the second largest company in the United States of America. We are union. And the first one is Walmart, and Walmart is non-union. If they can break us, they're going after all the rest. And as you know, they've been doing it for a long time. So we cannot let that happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get the Republicans out.
All right, we know that privatization isn't just happening to the post office. We know it's happening to nursing homes. It's happening in education. It's happening everywhere. We'd like to introduce a Liberty resident and immigrants' rights advocate, Zaida Chasey.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say exactly how I feel about being an immigrant, also being a long-time resident here in Liberty. I've been in the county for 18 years, and I've been working at different levels. I've been working at different levels as an advocacy to the families, especially every kind of families that we don't discriminate. We are the whole county here. We want a better life. So I just wanted to touch base about immigration reform. I know how people feel because I have worked there, I have been there, and how families are separated, how families are, taken away. They come here to make a better living. They support the economy here in this country. They are the ones who pay more taxes too. So we're trying to get Boehner and Gibson. I say they are out of touch. They need to know what is happening here in the Hudson Valley. So that's what I'm here. And also we want them, the Congressman Gibson and Boehner, no, we don't want bit by bit pieces of immigration. We want the whole comprehensive reform. Also, I wanted to touch base a little bit about healthcare. I've been working for the past year in the health center in Monticello. And I know how many cuts they had happening lately, in hospitals, in Middletown, and just having cuts regarding health care. Many people are suffering. Many people that don't have the nursing homes. They cannot afford to go to be in a nursing home, especially the elderly. So we need to do something. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And now I have another speaker named Priscilla Bassett from the Sullivan Senior Legislative Action Committee from here in Sullivan County.
I'm here to speak for SLAC, and we're a bunch of slackers. And we are sick of seeing too much slack in the Congress, no action. They have done nothing to stop the sequester cuts. They've done nothing to reauthorize SNAP and food stamps. They've done nothing to keep Meals on Wheels, a really serious senior issue, funded. And we have from them plenty of threats. What threats? To raise the age of Medicare and Social Security, to enact a chained CPI. You know what that means? The Consumer Price Index. It's not so hot the way they figure it now, but we would lose out on our COLA, our cost of living allowance, under Social Security. So what we say here, they have failed us, but there are things, and here you see what is it can be done. Make corporations pay their fair share. Eliminate the loopholes that the corporations are draining all of the social services, the human services in our lives. Thank you.
Gibson's attack, we gotta beat back. Gibson's attack, we gotta beat back. Gibson's attack, we gotta beat back. Gibson's attack, we gotta beat